Hi everyone, welcome to Special Presentation with Mike and Ethan. Or,
Alf will not be seen tonight.
hey, we finally returned to doing something that's actually about a comic strip! And it makes me want to shoot myself.
Yay!
Yay.
Boy,
I
boy.
forgot I forgot that most comic strips aren't very good either.
Yeah, this ain't no Garfield.
This ain't no Garfield. This is more like yeah, this belongs to the strip that we're looking at today belongs to a certain category of comic strip that I call the BC butt strips. So, you just take, it's essentially BC, but you change the setting. But other than that, it's the exact same kind of jokes for the most part. So, BC, but in caveman times. That's BC.
Yeah.
No duh. BC, but it's medieval times. That's Wizard of Id. BC, but it's modern times. That's High and Lois. That kind of thing.
Yes. That's a very apt way to
Today it's
describe it.
BC, but they're animals because it's animal
Crackers.
crackers. Thank you.
You know,
I could not remember the second word for a second.
let's just say that, like, you may not have heard of the comic strip Animal Crackers, but I feel like the name really kind of gives it away because it's just like, I don't know. Animal Crackers is very much a like, yeah. What? Can't think of a name. Just that. Use that one. Um,
It would be much funnier if it were called graham crackers
Mr.
and it
Graham's
was still about
Crackers.
animals.
It's this is actually a comic strip that we have tried to talk about previously, but we had complications. I think we had a audio issues or
Yeah.
something, so it didn't
Yeah,
happen.
somebody's audio failed, and I don't remember if it was mine or Mike's. And if it was mine, then it has just sloughed off my brain, much like animal crackers would if you read a strip today.
Yeah, because that's the thing is we were kind of like, should we do it again? And we were like, nah, we don't really want to have to watch more episodes of Animal Crackers. Let's
Yes.
do
So
something
actually,
else.
we went through the month of May Rio and the comic strip without returning to animal crackers.
Yes, but finally we can't avoid it forever. We're back on our Animal Crackers, and the thing about Animal Crackers is I actually know this comic strip. I remember it. Um, I remember this from when I was a kid. So when you brought it up to me, you thought this, you'd never heard of this, and I remember you were kind of being like, this bizarre thing that I just discovered, and I was like, oh yeah, I recognize this. Um, Animal Crackers used to be in the Stars and Stripes European edition when I was a kid. So I did read Animal Crackers as a small child. I had not seen it since. So I kind of put it in my brain. I know you are classifying this as a BC Butt comic. I was thinking of
Yeah.
this as a Stars and Stripes comic because there are certain
Ah.
comics that I read that I've seen in the Stars and Stripes, which for those of you who don't know is the American military newspaper, or at least it was. I don't know if it's still around. Trump might have decided, that we don't need that or anything because I don't know.
Who reads?
Yeah, who reads? He's probably not making money off this thing. Now, the Sergeant Stripes, like I said, it's the military newspaper. It's mostly, if you've ever read it, it's mostly AP stories, but it does have, the military has their own designated military reporters, and they mostly cover military stuff, like things of interest to the military, I guess. And military news in general. And the one thing that I learned from reading the Stars and Stripes as a child is that there's a military base, I guess, near Okinawa in Japan.
Yes.
Right.
Actually, there's tons of military bases on Okinawa.
Oh,
When after World War II, as it is referred to, the one of the agreements that America made with Japan as part of their peace agreement was to put a number of military bases in Japan, and Japan was like. Everyone, all the islands of Japan were like, not it. And then Okinawa looked up and was like, what? Oh, shit. So they all got piled onto Okinawa.
Ah, okay. That scans, because the one thing that I learned from reading the Stars and Stripes was, our boys in green sure do a lot of rapes in Okinawa. Like, a lot of rapes. Because the boys at the Stars and Stripes pretty much were like, oh, is there a news item about the military? Just slap it in there. Who cares? And so every time that there was a rape in Okinawa, it was mentioned in the Stars and Stripes. They like had a whole section where they had like, international news, and you could read like short things about what was happening in different countries. And like every day it was about like some rape trial in Okinawa of American soldiers.
Yeah,
and
I remember I read some article about how that was a big thing, and the only detail I remember is that one soldier who was accused he said something about I'll be there in 12 minutes, and the girl who accused him slapped him and said, I do not look 12, because she didn't understand him.
That's kind of amusing, actually.
Yeah.
A little bit of levity in one of these.
A little bit of levity in this article about rape.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the Stars and Stripes for you. But the Stars and Stripes also had a bunch of comics in it. And I've mentioned a few that were, unique to the Stars and Stripes because they were written and drawn by U.S. service members. One being MLE, or Military Life in Europe, which was actually fairly funny when it wasn't being homophobic, which it usually was. And the other one being Quimby, which I've also mentioned a few times, I think.
Yes.
Now, they also had normal comics that, in theory, you could find in stateside newspapers, but I've never seen them in any stateside newspaper. And some of these comics included Conrad, which is about a frog. It's actually just the Frog Prince, but, kind of...
I have seen Conrad now.
Yeah,
I think I found it while looking for new things for us to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Conrad still running right now?
No, I think it ended in like the 80s.
Okay,
or
I don't think it.
Maybe. Let me see. Hang on.
Now, Conrad looks like it should have caught on because it's very obviously drawn. It's one of those like comic strips that came out post Garfield, and everyone was kind of trying to jump on the Garfield bandwagon. You can see that with Marvin is probably the most successful of those, but Conrad definitely had a little bit of the Jim Davis eyes going on, though.
Yeah.
I think in general the comic looked a lot more like Mother Goose and Grimm style. But yeah, Conrad.
A bit.
Yeah. Conrad is a frog prince. There's a princess. There's a wizard. I think there's like a king and a queen. It's whatever. That's the comic strip.
And it ran for 3 years.
Not very long, but long enough to get in the Stars and Stripes.
But speaking of which, this is another thing that is touched on in our biggest white whale at this point. Biggest besides the Doonesbury musical, the live-action Mother's Day Sunday Funnies special from NBC, which had live-action sketches based on comic strips, and it actually had a Conrad with a large puppet portraying the frog.
Wow, they thought they had something there, I mean, it does seem like on paper it sounds like a good idea. It sounds like something that would catch on. But like a lot of these comics, if you ever read Conrad, it was pretty much just like, it did not have a lot to do with the promise of the premise. It was just literally like random jokes, but a frog is doing them.
BC but frog.
BC but frog, exactly. Now, another comic strip that I do remember from the Stars and Stripes was the Sesame Street comic strip, which...
that one. That's a weird one.
Yeah, it's not very funny, but it's also not very educational. It's kind of halfway between. It was an odd one, but
as I recall, it didn't actually have any Muppet characters.
Did it not? I feel like I remember seeing Big Bird in it, but again,
Maybe?
It's been many, many years. The fact that I remember I barely remember it at all, other than that it existed. Because I've only ever seen it in, like I said, in the Stars and Stripes. Um,
Oh no, here's one. Okay, so it's got both. All right, but I see a lot of them that look more like the Sesame Street animated segments than actually featuring the Muppet characters.
oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, so those are a few of the Stars and Stripes comics, and Animal Crackers was another one that was in the Stars and Stripes, and I actually remembered it a little different because I, for some reason, thought that Animal Crackers took place on Noah's Ark. Um, I think, at least that was my memory of it. I think I was getting it conflated with a television special called Noah's Funny Animals, which I remember seeing at the same time. Because Animal Crackers, while I do remember some of these characters, and I definitely remember this art style, it takes place in, like, the African savannah kind of jungle,
Oh, are you sure you weren't thinking of Boner's Ark?
What does Boner's Ark look like? Let me see.
Boner's Ark, it was created by Mort Walker.
Let me
And
look up.
it ran up until 2000.
Boner's Ark, great title.
Boner's
Great name.
Ark.
No notes.
Laugh at my Boner's Ark, will they?
Oh, so I have seen Boner's Ark, but that is not the one I was thinking of because I definitely remember the Animal Crackers style. Now I might have been kind of confused. I might have also read Boner's Ark, and that's why I kind of conflated that. But I have definitely seen Animal Crackers because I definitely remember seeing Lyle and Eugene as a kid in the newspaper. Boner's Ark. God.
Boner's Ark.
Language was different.
Could you get any more in 1968?
Man. Now, Boner's Ark has I don't know how to say this, but like Boner's Ark has an extremely German look to it. Like, this looks like a comic strip the Germans would make, you know?
I think I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't quite say why. I mean, I feel like maybe there's a little bit of Katzenjammer Kids here. Maybe there's a little bit of Captain Blue Bear, but I don't know. There's just something extremely like German about this when I see them. I'm like, yeah, this looks like so look at this Jim Knopf-ass motherfucker. Yeah. But anyway, they did not make a Boner's Ark television series, as far as I know.
I don't think so. I mean, it was probably featured in Mother's Day Sunday Funnies, for all we know.
Yeah. Yeah, might have been actually. So, okay, I am going to, yeah. So, but sorry, I got distracted. But we were talking about Animal Crackers. I got distracted because I was so incredibly bored by Animal Crackers. It's so boring. I know that, like, did you actually go back and rewatch the episodes that we watched the first time, or just these two new ones?
No, I just watched the new ones that I showed you.
Yeah, same. I figured that'd be more than enough because Animal Crackers, I think this might be one of the biggest slogs that we've looked at, and that is saying something because we watched.
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I did laugh out loud once, all of once.
That's impressive. What was the joke?
Okay. There is an episode of Animal Crackers in which our regular character Dodo, who is the last of the Dodos and is obsessed with flying, loses his memory and falls into the lake where an alligator is, or maybe it's a crocodile. I don't know. And he says, "Who are you? Can you tell me who I am?" And the alligator just blinks and says, "Well, I don't want to get involved," and just leaves.
Oh yeah, actually that was kind of amusing. I like how it's not even really a joke. It's just the alligator's like, fuck
Just
it.
like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah, that was a little.
There isn't even a sound effect with him leaving. He just leaves silently.
Yeah, that I'll admit that was good. That bit was not bad. And maybe that can give you an idea of like what to expect from Animal Crackers in general. Now, let's talk about a little about our comic strip, Animal Crackers. This is a comic strip that was created, written, and illustrated by Roger Raj Bolin, um, who was a guy who made animal crackers. Um, and he's also,
Yes.
but he's not just the animal crackers guy. He also created the comic strip Funny Business.
Funny business,
Funny
and
Business.
also, oh, he created PJ Funny Bunny, dude.
Have you heard of PJ Funny Bunny?
Yes, it's a series of beginner books that I think had its own cartoon series too.
Oh, okay. So I guess that was probably what he's most known for, I'm assuming. Um,
But he also wrote Handy Manny, the Disney show. This guy had a lot of stuff going on.
yeah. I guess maybe we shouldn't be judging him by animal crackers because this is a newspaper comic strip. And if you're making a newspaper comic strip, generally a lot of these, look, a lot of newspaper comics are just real ham and eggers. These are guys who
Yep.
just like, they're like, look, he's sensible chuckle daily. Not really out to like make high art. Most of them are not Bill Wattersons or Berkeley Breathids or Gary Larsons. They're all making BC butt because that's really what newspapers want. So
Yep.
he was doing what they paid him to do. And maybe he really exercised his true creativity on things like Handy Mandy and Handy
Yeah.
Manny, sorry, and PJ Funny Bunny.
Yep.
Because
And apparently Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, which I never saw, but I think some kids have some affection for.
apparently, yeah. So apparently he's he's got some pedigree. This Roger Raj Bolin.
Yeah.
Now his so Animal Crackers is a comic strip that he came up with. It is about a bunch of wacky animals, and they're wacky. They're wacky animals. Um, there's I think like who are main characters in Animal Crackers? We've got
Let's see. The one who actually moves the plot most of the time is Eugene the elephant.
yeah. His thing is he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, imagine if Oscar the Grouch could push you around. That's kind of what he's like.
Yeah, a lot of watching uh, the Animal Crackers television series. I think one of the weird things about it is that Eugene is kind of part of the gang when he feels like he should be like a crank who comes in occasionally to move the plot along. Like I don't know what you would. I can't think of an example in another cartoon, but you know what I mean. Like
Reggie Mantle.
yes, exactly. Like a Reggie Mantle type, where he shouldn't be. He's not usually shouldn't be hanging out with them all the time. He just should be showing up to cause trouble. Because the fact that he's hanging out with them all the time, it's like, boy, he's really just. It's really kind of an abusive relationship.
I figured that was part of the joke. It was like, you guys are my best friends, or else.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is, but it's just I don't know. Like I was watching, I was like, wow, what a jerk! What a jerk that Eugene is.
Yeah,
But anyway,
but nobody else has any real executive function.
no.
We have everyone. Everyone else is extremely passive. So Eugene kind of rose to the front in the same way as Strong Bad should not be Homestar Runner's best friend, and if you asked him, he wouldn't be. But he's still always part of the game because everyone else is off in their own little world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the You just sometimes the characters, they tell you what to do. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a. I mean, I understand. I was not happy when it happened, but I understand why Steve Urkel took over Family Matters.
right.
Other than that, it was a fairly innocuous show, but innocuous shows don't last.
Yeah. You need some spice. You need some pizzazz. But yeah, you're right. The other characters don't really have a lot of that. I guess our main other character is Lyle. He is a lion. He's kind of a nebbish, I guess. Um, and then there's Gnu, who's a Gnu,
Yes.
and
So
he's
we have a loser and a loser,
yeah,
and Dodo, who is also a loser,
yeah. So Dodo's,
and Lana, who is a girl, but I don't know if that precludes her being a loser.
I mean, yeah, her personality is girl, and the Dodo is slightly differentiated because his thing, like you said, is that he's kind of obsessed with flying. So he's always shooting himself out of cannons and stuff like that to fly. And this is a very like kids cartoon personality trait to have. I feel.
I feel like that if there had ever been a Bloom County strip comic or cartoon, then there would always have been. They would have had Opus doing this once an episode.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like a lot of. I feel like the flightless bird desperate to fly is almost a stock trope in a lot of kids media. I mean, I guess Bloom County did it with like the whole Christmas special,
Yeah.
But this I'd say Dodo is a lot less charming than Opus.
No. Yeah, I agree, although I do like that they're in this episode where he forgets who he is. He also forgets he can't fly, so he just flies like nobody's business.
I mean that again, reality is a shared delusion, So, so that bolsters my theory. This cartoon is telling the truth. And then let's see who else we got. We also got there are a couple other. There's a chameleon named Tito who appears.
Yes.
And
There's a crocodile, but I don't remember his name.
oh yeah, I mean I think there's a few
He
other.
seems to he seems to hang out with a bird, much like a John the Turtle and the Dookie Bird. So again, BC Butt.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there are a few other characters that might appear recurringly, but like who cares? They're really not that important.
Yeah, there's a sarcastic frog and toad who are basically there to give the caption in a Heathcliff strip, like he's bad news.
Yeah, they're doing that whole They're not quite
Cow
as entertaining as when the the record player in the Flintstones says it's a living, but but it is what it is.
I always wanted one of those tools to be like, it used to be 11 last year, but now I'm working 2 jobs.
That's the way it be,
Actually, I always wanted a short cartoon where Fred Flintstone goes to his office and starts writing checks for all of his appliances.
Oh, actually, that'd be
Here you go,
funny.
vacuum. Here you go, can opener.
Oh my God! You know what that?
Heyday.
Oh, you know what that actually kind of is like? If you really think about it, Fred Flintstone,
It's
he rents his appliances.
yeah,
Like
it's the original streaming services.
everything is subscription for him. He's oh, what a hell. I guess the Flintstones is more relevant than ever. Anyway, but unfortunately we're talking about animal crackers. So so animal crackers.
Wow, how desperate are they? We're like, oh man, I wish we got to talk about the Flintstones.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. So, animal crackers. Oh, we forgot. There's also this couple.
Oh yeah.
This like.
Oh yeah, these extremely unaware of their surroundings. Couple of human tourists. A couple of presumably white Americans.
Yeah, they wear the Hawaiian shirts and everything, and
Yes.
I guess they're kind of like Captain Quigley and Sherman's Lagoon, like that
Yeah.
role. I guess they function. Well, they're not really in many of the actual episodes. They mainly appear in the introduction credits, and I really don't like the intro credits for this show.
Yeah, it feels like they were trying to squeeze a whole other cartoon into the intro credits.
Yeah, like the intro credits do this thing that's just like very like this is for kids. This is a cartoon for kids. And the intro credits tell you that because they try to do this like thing where like the tourists are like filming stuff and they're like, oh, the majesty of nature, and then you see like our main animal characters like dancing like idiots or something, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I get it. The joke is the dichotomy between the lofty language the tourist has used to describe nature and the actual ridiculous behavior of the natural life in animal crackers. I get it. I mean, I get it. It's just incredibly like, the most easy obvious kind of joke that like might make a child laugh. A child might be like, oh yeah, that is a juxtaposition has called attention to the absurdity of the situation. But as an adult, I'm just like, ah, ah.
You know, this gives me an idea for a better show.
Oh
But, that always happens.
yeah, well, what's your better
But,
idea?
okay. Now, let's take the cast of Animal Crackers. We can keep their names and everything, but instead of just writing whatever we want, instead we look at actual, like, wildlife footage. And then we find something interesting happening in there, and then we write the stories around that. And then we take this couple and we make them live action. So once in a while we see them looking in on what the animals are doing, and it's like the two versions of Hobbs.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. That would be way better than what we got.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's but very often is the case. So we're stuck with the lesser. Um, Now, I think I said this is a cartoon for children, right? And
I mean,
it's
it has some slightly heightened vocabulary, I think, but
slightly. I mean, I feel like it's not like Garfield and Friends, where whereas for children, I guess Garfield and Friends we've described. I think we said is like one of those cartoons for children.
it's for kid. Garfield from Friends is for kids who are starting to grow up and starting to become more media literate.
Yeah, I think we described it as like for kids who read above their grade level.
Yes.
And Animal Crackers does not give me that impression. It is not. I feel like it is very much like geared for kids, but I also feel like I am reluctant to say because sometimes we watch something and we're just like, yeah, kids like it's for kids. Kids would like it. I don't think kids would like this. I don't.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, instead of being, right for kids, it feels like it was something that was not intended for kids and then they dumbed it down on purpose. Like, okay, you mentioned the idea of kids reading above their grade level being into Garfield. This feels more like, what if you took something that was way above a kid's grade level, like, say, Lord of the Flies or 1984, and you made a a water resistant bath book out of it.
Like one of those puffy page books.
Exactly. Yeah, the books that float. Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, that is uh man.
Yeah, it's like if take the Basketball Diaries and make a Max and Ruby book out of it. That's what it's like.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. It's oh man, there's something about the way that these stories are structured that just feels weird. Like I feel like very often they're way more complicated than they need to be.
Yeah, we had that. It's kind of the same thing that we ran into with the Heathcliff cartoon, where you can see where the cartoon is going, but it goes somewhere completely different.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a little it's weird because I also feel like half the time the cartoon forgets its own plot. Like it's like if it's like doing Family Guy style cutaway jokes, but then it forgets that it's cut away and it just starts going off on a tangent and like doing like more jokes based on the cutaway instead of going back to the original like theme of the episode. Um,
Mm.
because like there's the one that we watched that I'm really remembering is the oh god the episode where everyone gets spring fever.
Yes. So the episode is like, oh, they get horny. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm interested.
Yeah.
But
Now the name of the episode is if you can't join them, be 'em.
actually, no, that was the previous
Oh,
episode.
what was that one about?
That was the one where. But this, I think, this also ties in with your thing, where it starts out with Dodo telling Eugene to get out of the way, and Eugene's like, you can't make me, and then a mouse scares him out of the way. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be about Dodo using mice to bully Eugene around until, like, say, maybe the mice start demanding their cut, and Eugene has to protect Dodo from the mice or something like that. But no, instead it's about Dodo trying to cure Eugene of his fear of mice.
Yeah.
And ends up hypnotizing him into thinking he is one.
Yeah, and then it's kind of, I thought, okay, from there we can kind of go in this direction where you might have the whole episode about him dealing with his fear of mice, or it might, but then it's like it might be like, oh, his friends are worried about him not being a mouse, thinking he's a mouse, but instead he's like hanging out with the mice, and the mice are getting sick of him. So it kind of like it feels like we've added several steps to get to this point, like unnecessary things. It's like it's like the early episodes of The Simpsons where like there would be 3 like introductory plots that would happen within the space of like a minute before you got to the actual plot of the episode, but the difference being The Simpsons was really funny, so you forgave it.
I mean, it didn't matter that they didn't go back to Mount Splashmore after Homer lost weight.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, I don't mind that we're not actually finishing up with the soccer riot or like Bime on Sci-Fi Con. We've moved on to the actual what the episode is about. But like this one, I was kind of also thought it was weird that like Dodo has kind of just taken it upon himself to cure Eugene of his mouse phobia. Because
why? He's bullying you.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity to take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's weird because it was like, oh, Eugene doesn't seem to want this. This isn't something that Eugene seems to have a problem with. It's just that Dodo is now, I'm going to do this. And again, I think that's one of the weird things about this series is it really feels like characters don't have a lot of motivation for anything. They decide to do things, but like it doesn't really feel like there's really much rhyme or reason to what they decide, other than that the plot needs to happen. Like the one where all of a sudden everyone gets obsessed with astrology and make Lyle into their astrology god, and then get mad at him when the astrology doesn't work.
That feels like a Berenstain Bears episode or something.
It does kind of. It's like, is there supposed to be a lesson here about like, the Eastern arts or something? I don't know, but God, it's just
now I kind of wish that one had been paired with the Spring Fever episode, because at one point in the Spring Fever episode, everybody shows up at Lana's door because she's the only girl they know. And she says, "What are you guys doing here?" And I think it's New who says, "Pitching woo," which is a really weird phrase. But if they had followed that up with the astrology episode, then someone could have asked, looked at this table full of New Age stuff that Lyle is selling me. Lyle, what are you doing? And he'd be like, "Pitching woo."
Oh yeah, they could have done something there. But that is not what is happening. Okay, so the Spring Fever episode, it starts off, everyone has spring fever, which causes you to wear funny pants, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. I guess because they thought those...
Well, now they have to wear pants because they've got something to cover.
Oh. I just thought like, oh, okay, I guess the creators of this show thought it would look really funny if everyone was wearing pants with flowers on them. I guess.
Yeah, everyone seems to be wearing muumuus, and Dodo is also eating ice cream and pickles. So I think they got some things mixed up here.
Yeah, but it doesn't go anywhere interesting, as you would think from this. Instead, everyone's got spring fever, so everyone is horny for Lana, as you said, the only girl. And it seems like, but then Dodo gets amnesia. So instead, this is an amnesia episode, and when he has amnesia, he starts like wooing Lana successfully because he's very suave when he's got amnesia. And
And the reason he's got amnesia is nothing special. He just got stepped on by everybody at a time.
yeah,
So
and then he gets hit by a kite, and that makes him not have amnesia anymore, and then the episode ends. So that's
Yeah.
it. Nothing was learned.
well, the most interesting thing about him being in amnesia, when he has amnesia, he puts on an outfit to make so that he becomes a mysterious suitor, and he just looks like Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, he really does. It's just literally Darkwing Duck. But it's just like a very convoluted series of things happen to like cause this to happen. But it's also weird because it's like I'm like, okay, look, I feel like what really should have just happened here is Lyle has been established as the character that is down bad for Lana. That is his entire personality. So he should probably lose his memory and become really suave. He should have done that. And you wouldn't have to have this entire like spring fever conceit at all. You could just get right into the actual meat of the episode instead of wasting a bunch of time setting up this whole, this whole world, this whole premise, which leads us to having all the characters kind of acting out of character since they're all like into Lana now all of a sudden.
Yeah, these episodes, they all sort of feel like they were written by committee, but not like with two, standing over the other one's shoulder as he types, but like okay, I'll write the first act, you write the second, and you come up with a funny way to wrap up for the third.
Yeah, there's a very exquisite corpse feel to these episodes.
I mean, especially the part where Lyle reveals that he actually has an inflatable doll version of Lana.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because like, even though Lana is being the main plot of this episode is the fact that Lana is being successfully wooed by Dodo, unbeknownst to everyone, we keep having like that doesn't actually like go anywhere. Like I kind of thought we would have like like eventually everyone would kind of be like, we need to stop that mysterious stranger. Kind of how everyone ganged up on Apu in that one Simpsons episode where he was being too successful at being romantic. But instead, we just keep having cutaway gags of other characters failing to woo Lana by playing instruments, by dancing with an inflatable doll, and it's like, this again. It's all like Family Guy cutaway gags.
Yeah, except that it's Family Guy cutaway gags to things that are that the other characters are doing while while these characters are busy with something. It's all your fingers have a condition called stubbiness. It usually comes from the father. Dope, stupid fingers.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Except that was funny.
there was like the bit where Lyle feels like he's really embarrassed himself, and so his friends are like, well, "What about all these other incidents that happened?" And
that was extremely Family Guy.
that was
yes.
extremely. That was literally just the cutaway gags, But it was also like, okay, why are we doing this? We should be. Isn't there something with Dodo? Isn't that the main thing we're supposed to be thinking about here? But like, we keep doing like even the one with the rain dance. I feel like that was like again. Like, okay, we want it to rain. Why do we? But first, we have to have this long thing about how Eugene won't share the pool with everyone. It's like, just make it rain, man. Just say it's hot. Let's make it rain. You don't need to like. I don't know. I guess they wanted to have some. They wanted to allow Eugene to have a character moment to establish that he's kind of an asshole. I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just saying is like, really, I think what it comes down to is I don't really enjoy spending time with any of these characters.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the The episode where Dodo loses his memory stands out because the amnesiac version of Dodo is a much more interesting character to everyone, not
Yes.
just to Lana, to us too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And also, I think another thing that really kind of, um, another thing about animal crackers that really turns me off, I should say, really makes me be like, I don't want to give this, I don't want to even bother to try to give this show a fair shake. Dodo's character design, he's got like the upper beak but no lower beak, just a mouth under his beak. So it's like an
Oh yeah, he's got that Lucario look.
yeah,
Yuck.
yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So when I see that, I'm just like, oh, that is 100%, that is greeting card level character design,
Yeah.
you know? Like that's what I think. It's like yeah, it's like that one guy, the greeting cards, that one guy who just loves drawing like, really big fat women sitting on dogs, you know?
Yes.
I don't know his name, but you know the guy.
Wish I could get that job. Wow.
Yeah. You mean sitting on dogs or drawing women sitting on dogs?
Well, shoot. Spend from one check and pocket the
I
other.
mean, true, true. Honestly, if they offered me either of those jobs, I would take them. But
Yeah, I'm a dog sitter.
wah wah wah. So anyway, yeah. So I am not a fan of Dodo's character design, and it really makes me just be like, "Pfft, yeah, I don't believe that someone who draws a dodo bird like that is going to make a cartoon that's good. Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like a dodo. It just looks like a seagull.
Yeah.
I mean, people know what a dodo looks like, even though they've been extinct for almost 500 years.
Yeah, they're kind of distinctive. We've seen those woodcuts.
Yeah, we've seen the illustrations from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, we know.
We've seen the stuffed ones.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course, I have heard some arguments that dodos didn't really look like that because the only ones that we had that were in good enough shape to stuff were, tragically obese ones that were kept as pets.
Oh, people kept them as pets.
Yeah, they had no fear of humans, so they were like, "Hey, let's keep this one in the house. We'll call him Lyle."
That's cute. Man. Well, I guess that's why you should have fear of humans.
Yep.
Um,
And I understand that's what happened to Stellar Sea Cow too.
Boy, you know what? They just keep designing these animals that aren't afraid of humans, and it never goes good for
Yeah.
them.
Intelligent design, my ass. That's stupid design.
Yeah, it's like do better. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, apparently yeah, the dodo is faster and smarter than you think, according to Popular Science.
Yeah.
Um,
Kind of makes me think of Dilbert and discovering that there's no way that all the dinosaurs could have gone extinct. So they're probably just hiding behind furniture.
I don't approve of this idea that dodos were like smart and fast. That's like when they start putting feathers on dinosaurs. It's like what is that? What is this shit? Oh,
Oh, it turns out dodos didn't have feathers. They gave them all to the dinosaurs.
yeah, I'm just saying. It's like I like my dinosaurs big and stupid. I like them the big, plodding, gray, stupid lizards. You start putting feathers on that. What? What do you even know you got, man? It's like that's not even a dinosaur anymore. It's like some sort of
Yeah, just
raptor.
just oh, that's interesting. Oh, I just got distracted. The closest living relative of the dodo. Did you see this?
No.
The Nicobar pigeon.
Oh, I've never heard of such a thing.
It does not look like a dodo to me, but holy cow, what a bird!
Oh wow, yeah, that looks very different. That's a very different vibe.
But yeah, that's a dodo was essentially a large pigeon, so yeah, it makes sense. But a pigeon with island gigantism.
Wow,
So
interesting. That is
they might have had much more, beautiful iridescent feather patterns when they were alive, and not, shipped rotting to the British Museum.
Wow. Well, another lie by the British Museum. Thanks a lot,
Yep.
England. Well, in any case,
Return the dodo to Round Island.
yeah. No, anyway, yeah, animal crackers.
Animal crackers
Um,
in my soup.
and yeah. So anyway, this show. Well, what else can we say about animal crackers? We got to fill another 15 minutes. So
15 minutes. Let's see. There was one other episode that we haven't actually brought up yet.
oh, what was that one? I've already forgotten it because we mentioned the astrology one where Lyle makes he becomes an astrologer. And oh, that one had one joke that I thought was amusing in it actually. The bit where Dodo is talking to the crocodile fortune teller, and he says like the crocodile's like, "Oh no, you just made the ball crystal tells me you made a very poor financial decision. That'll be $20." And I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's amusing. I mean, it's not as
Yep.
funny as when they did it in Calvin Hobbes with like a penny for your thoughts, and they have the argument, and it's like, fine, here's $1, and it's like, what's your great thought? A fool and his money are soon parted, you know. But it's fine. It's fine. So anyway, oh yeah. So what is the episode we have not talked about, or the thing we?
Oh, it wasn't actually an episode. It was the bumpers between episodes.
Oh, right. Because yeah, Animal Crackers is kind of doing the Garfield Quickie thing, where
Yeah.
but I don't think these were actual Animal Crackers strips that are turned into things. I think they're just random stuff. Because the bumpers, usually in every episode, we get 3 bumpers kind of on they're variations on a theme. And let's see, we had one of the episodes that had 3 bumpers about new kind of exercising and trying to be like so
he was doing the same 3 exercises and doing them wrong a different way each time.
yes. And what was the other bumpers in the other one? I've already forgotten.
The other one was about Eugene's birthday.
Oh, right.
I didn't realize at first that this was a bumper that was unrelated to what else was happening. I thought it was just the beginning of the psychic episode. So when we got to part 2, and Eugene is like, "Okay, guys, in honor of my birthday," and I was like, "Wait, does every episode start with Eugene having a birthday?" That would actually be really funny if that was why everyone hung out with him, was because he kept inviting people to his birthday party like every week.
I mean, that would kind of be in keeping with the personality that's established for him.
Yeah.
Since he's kind of very self-centered and likes attention and presence, and we actually did watch an episode, I believe, last time where that was about his birthday. Didn't he bully people into coming to his birthday party?
Yeah, I think so. So maybe I was recalling something that already happened. So wow, Eugene aged a couple of years over the course of this show.
Well, you know how it is with elephants.
Yeah, they never forget.
Yeah. That's why they remember the rain dance. Oh yeah,
That's why they drink.
Which that rain episode, I feel like again, it was a weird one because it's like, it's about Eugene hogging the pool, and then it's so Lyle does he's like, why do you make it rain so you don't have to go in the pool? And Lyle is like, I will do that, and he does, and Eugene convinces him to a rain dance, which causes it to snow, or maybe it snows by coincidence. I think it's implied.
Yeah, he makes up a rain dance, and just to make Lyle humiliate himself, and then it starts snowing, and then Eugene is like, "Lyle, what did you do?" As if this wasn't all his idea.
Yeah, and then the rest of the episode is Lyle kind of trying to fix this, while the other characters realize that they actually like snow and are having fun. But then Lyle successfully caught... No. Okay, wait. So Lyle somehow causes more snow to happen. which causes
Yeah, he literally builds a bunch of ladders up to the clouds and starts seeding them with like potions that he's making
yes.
that just make them like, spit lightning or something, but never actually stop snowing.
No, and he's always working in his lab. It's one of those, it's like it's like a cartoon science lab. So he's got lots of beakers and Erlenmeyer flasks, and he's pouring liquids between them, and then he's drinking the liquids that he's pouring into flasks for some reason, and then his head explodes, and he says something like "spicy," and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. Them's the jokes. Oh, hi, Riker. That's the cat.
Hi, Riker.
Um,
Hello, Riker. We love you.
she's getting her wet food. So Lyle does all this stuff, and then eventually he causes it to snow more, which causes everyone to get frozen in the giant ice cubes. And he says,
Oh no, that happened because they were having too much fun on the ice and they all fell through.
"Oh, okay." But then Lyle is like, "Oh no, I've turned my friends into ice cubes." And I thought that was interesting because it's like, yeah, that's what you literally did. I kind of expected you would say something like, "Oh no, I've turned my friends into like popsicles or something." Something that's kind of a attempted a joke, but he just says what he did. So then he's like,
It would be funny if they actually came out as popsicles.
I mean, it would be.
Like they're all like. I mean, Eugene was actually playing hockey, so it would be funny if he came out on a stick.
Oh yeah.
So.
Psh, that well, again, we could have made a much better show, I think.
Yep.
But then Lyle is all like, "Oh, if only there's a way to go back. Go back. Wait, that's it." And I was like, don't fucking tell me that suddenly it's going to be a time travel plot, because
I mean, I would have believed it.
that's the thing. The way these episodes jump around, I was like, oh, it's 100% he's gonna invent a time machine now, and it's just gonna do that, because I feel like these episodes were written by a literal child who just with ADHD or something. But instead, he decided to do the rain dance backwards, I think. Except he doesn't. He just, because he says the exact same thing, like as he did the first time.
But in the reverse order.
But except he doesn't. The words are not in reverse order.
The words are not in reverse. Just the lines. So
That is.
So he still says itsy bitsy instead of bitsy itsy, but it comes last instead of first.
See, it's just, God damn it! This just doesn't work. Just have him say the things backwards.
Better yet, just reverse his voice.
Yeah.
What does it matter how he can do it?
I mean,
yep, we'll do it.
Yeah. Again, it's just, I feel like there's just so it's just so, everything is just so not there. Everything feels like it's so you could have had something here, but again, child's ADHD writing this, so they don't have any follow through. It's constant gags, but never any follow through to make the gags work. Okay, so he does this thing.
We get the most angry at shows that disappoint us when they actually have potential.
Yeah,
now I understand why your teachers were so upset when you had potential, but you just didn't do the work.
Oh, I never disappointed my teachers because I never had potential.
Well, sorry, I was a child with ADHD.
Oh, were you were they did they were like, oh, Ethan, you could amount to something?
It's like, I'm sorry, I'm too busy writing scripts for animal crackers.
See, I was similar. I was always as a kid, I was always doing animal cracker type stuff. And I think most of my teachers were like, yeah, whatever.
This we're never amounting to anything, Einstein.
This one, yeah, it's like, well, whatever. This one's just passing through, except for, except for Mr. Watts, my 5th grade English teacher. He believed in me. Good on you, Mr. Watts.
Way to go, Mr. Watts.
Yeah,
we all had a Mr. Watts in our lives. I hope.
Yeah. I mean, he was a good guy. I feel like it's good to have one teacher who actually thinks you'll amount to something. So I guess he was the one who thought I had potential. Boy, well, why
would he be disappointed, right?
I mean, he's if I went back to him and said, "Mr. Watts, it's me, Mike. You remember me from 5th grade?" He'd probably be like, "No, who the fuck are you?" you know. Um, but yeah, because when you're a teacher, you see a lot of students. Anyway, but
I can't remember people 5 minutes later.
yeah, there you go. Because you're too busy writing scripts for Animal Crackers. um, anyway, that's called a callback, which is something you will not find at Animal Crackers because they don't spend any time actually doing like, oh, hey,
Pitching woo.
here's the other thing. Since I'm going to jump around from topic to topic just like Animal Crackers, okay? Like, again, when in the episode where he's being hypnotized so that like to be not afraid of mice, they have this whole like thing where Lyle shows up and is like, can you hypnotize him to do something humiliating? And then they just do this like sequence where he does ballet, and it's like, okay, I feel like every time we're gonna get anywhere in this episode, someone just shows up to derail into like, here's a quick gag. Okay, this gag is kind of distracting from the main thrust of what we're doing here, Also, like...
Yeah, but on the other hand, do you care about the main thrust of what we're doing here?
I mean, I might... Here's the thing. I might if the Animal Crackers spent enough time to actually, like, build up the premise and the payoff, then I might get more invested in stuff. But as it is, I just feel like we're constantly derailing into, like, greeting card style gags, which half the time don't really seem to be based at all in the characters' personalities. Like, you could shuffle this around and the same different characters could do any of these gags, Like, suddenly Lyle...
Well, when we say greeting card style humor, what do we mean there?
I mean, very broad, very basic. Stuff
very
like...
one-liner.
Yeah. Stuff like, wouldn't it be funny if, like, an elephant, like, wore a tutu, Like... That's just, I'm kind of like, yeah, all right, I guess. I mean, I guess that'd be funny, but like, it's just so...
Yeah, definitely broad, because I know that I have seen the same card being used for like 5 or 6 different holidays.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of that. It's just, a lot of like, it reminds me of...
Also extremely predictable, to the point where, actually, once I was looking through greeting cards and I noticed that all of the greeting cards with dogs in it were some sort of joke about, oops, the dog shit on your present or something like that.
Yeah.
And I realized, oh my god, that is where Triumph comes from.
Oh.
It's like the default birthday card is like, hope you have a great birthday for me to poop on.
Dogs love pooping on stuff,
Yeah.
I recall, like, there was a greeting card where it's like, and it's like, and again, I've seen this for multiple things, where on the cover, it's a picture of a person in, like, an inflated, like, wetsuit. And...
Oh, yeah, never fart, on your birthday or on Easter, remember, never fart in your wetsuit.
Yeah, exactly,
like
that one. Which I also think is interesting, because the picture on the cover, I'm like, that is not what a wetsuit looks like. That is like a gimp suit.
Yes. Also, I'm pretty sure I know who that is. I think it's the guy from Ren Spot.
Wait, what? Oh, shit! that
also known by the furry name Coco.
That is a deep cut. Wait. Oh my god, wait a minute. Are you being serious? Like, did they just steal that photo from the internet?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Holy shit. Wow.
They were like, what's he going to do? Sue us? Admit that it's him in the suit?
That's a good point. Well, he shouldn't have farted in that suit. That's especially not on his birthday or on Easter.
Yeah, I see another one that I see all the time is the one with the kids at the outhouse, where it says, didn't you say the best Easter eggs were at the Schmidt house?
Oh, yeah.
Or didn't you say we were trick-or-treating at the Schmidt house? Didn't you say we were setting off fireworks at the Schmidt house? It's like,
oh,
the Schmidts must be the most loneliest people in town. No one ever shows up.
There's another variation of that one, which is like, it was like where it's like the two bakers, they've got like, this cake made of poop, and one is like, I told you to make a sheet cake, for your birthday, or I told you to make a sheet cake for Christmas. I told you to make a sheet cake for Easter, Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're saying. That level of humor is kind of what Animal Crackers feels like.
Yeah. Way too few of the jokes actually require them to be animals.
Yeah.
I would say that the hypnosis episode is, because we have this idea of elephants being afraid of mice. At least it's actually tied in to Eugene being an elephant. But if Eugene had been, say, an emu who was afraid of mice, nothing would have changed.
Right. Yeah. That is one of the many issues with Animal Crackers. I mean, that's probably the big one, is just that, like, everything is so generic. It is like generic humor. It feels like everything could just be, it could be anything. It's BC Butt,
Yep. I think the most interesting thing about that episode was that the reason the mice briefly accepted Eugene as one of their own was because he wanted to date the girl mouse.
Oh, right.
And she was actually open to the idea.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that could have been interesting. I wish that it ended with them being like, well, we're finally rid of that animal. Finally, we're rid of that darn Eugene. And she comes up like, I'm late.
That would be pretty funny, yes, and interesting. Now, yeah, that's the thing, is like again, these episodes kind of zigzag all over the place, but never go anywhere interesting, because the mice, they end up like, there's this bit near the end where Eugene scares away like a cat.
Yeah, there's an actual house cat that the American couple left behind.
Yeah.
It's This is one of those things, like, I think you brought up the idea that up until just recently, it was generally considered hilarious to brutalize a house cat in cartoons.
Yeah. This cartoon is from the 90s, so I guess this is kind of on the tail end of that. But here's the thing.
Late 90s, but still.
Yeah, because, like, this cat kind of shows up, and the mice are scared, and Eugene is also scared, and they're like, Eugene, you're an elephant, you can stop him. And what kind of happens is, it's a weird thing, because I kind of thought, like, a way this might play out is like, yeah, Eugene is like, all right, I'm going to be brave, and he stops the cat, and the mice are like, oh, okay, Eugene, we accept you now as one of us, because you've proven, your usefulness, and that you are a brave elephant and a good friend, whatever, something like that. But instead, what happens is Dodo is like, oh, by the way, there's a safe word that I built into the hypnosis so I can snap him out of it. I didn't mention this earlier. This was not mentioned earlier in the episode. Yeah,
it was. He spent the whole episode trying to remember the safe word.
But no, he didn't. But did he mention it when he was doing the hypnosis? Because he started talking about the safe word towards the end, when the mice were getting pissed at Eugene, and that's already like 2/3 of the way through. Right. So,
okay, so but until then, he had in fact been building it up, trying to remember what word starts with P or whatever.
Right.
And then finally he remembers. It's like, oh, that's right. Shallow Hal wants a gal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Petunia, because as you recall, or you might recall, Eugene likes stomping.
You might recall if you listened to the episode that we didn't record.
Yeah, like, part of Eugene's character is that he likes stomping on petunias, I guess.
Yeah, specifically petunias, not any other kind of flower. I guess he likes the smell.
I feel like what that reminds me of is, do you remember a comic called Bruno the Bandit?
No.
So this was a web comic. It was, I don't think it was, I don't know how big it was. It was one of the, like, early ones, in the sluggy freelance era. And what I most remember is the very first comic. It's like Bruno the Bandit with his, like, sidekick, the little dragon, and mentions, I don't know, Frida the dragon, or whatever the fuck her name was, lover of Fig Newtons. A thing which is never brought up again in the entire course of the comic strip. And the cartoonist was like, yeah, I thought that this would be like her thing, kind of like, Garfield likes lasagna, but then I just forgot. And that's kind of how I feel about like this whole Petunia thing with Eugene. I know that they brought it up in a couple episodes, but it just isn't such. It's not really like such a memorable thing, you know. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, all right, fine,
Oh, good.
yeah. But yeah. So
I
anyway,
just thought Fig Newtons was really funny.
yeah, they really thought that was funny, but it's not really. Anyway, Eugene, at the last moment before this cat scares him off a cliff, Dodo remembers the past the word and says the word, which snaps Eugene out of his his hypnotic state, and so now he can beat up the cat and also be scared of mice again, and the status quo is reestablished, and that's basically it. It just feels like,
Yeah.
I guess a lot of these episodes really feel like, yeah, nothing. Our characters learn nothing. They have not like advanced their relationship in any way. They've never like injured their relationship in a way that requires repair, and there's really nothing. They do feel like daily comic strips, just like blown up into like 15 or minute increments,
Yeah.
because the characters don't need to have any sort of relationships with each other that would, require events to actually happen. Events just happen and they resolve themselves usually.
Yeah, that's. I really don't like when they do that. I actually prefer when, if you need to return to the status quo, just do it and don't explain why. Like, I'm a big fan of like how in Urusei Yatsura, frequently comics or episodes of the show would end with like everyone just turned into kittens, or like the whole town was overrun with burping mushrooms or something like that, and then it's just done by the next one. It's like, no, we're doing something else now.
Yeah, that's what you do in a cartoon. You just assume everything's going to be normal again in the next one. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, that's why in The Simpsons they mentioned it when like, wow, is Dad gonna be friends with Flanders forever? And then it's just like, oh, we gotta spend the night in a haunted house. You know. But yeah, there's a lot of the rain dance one. Getting back to that one, because we said the snow happens, and then Lyle does not actually do the time travel. He does the backwards rain dance, which does not cause anything to happen, because the snow coincidentally stops because the humans say the weather report says the snow is going to stop in 3 minutes, and it does, and then it all melts, and our heroes are like on a raft, and they're all like mad at Lyle because now they're trapped on a raft, and he's like, let's paddle the raft, and they paddle the raft to shore, and they're like, what do we do now? We're still hot. And Eugene is like, what if I made up another lie about a dance you can do? And then they all do the other dance, and the episode ends. And it just really feels like, why are we even bothering with any of this? Things just happen. Things just happen in this show. you know?
I guess we're supposed to identify with Eugene because now he's got a new way to keep everyone out of the swimming hole he's hogging to himself,
I mean,
or something.
this show is for bullies who are all like, oh, I really identify with Eugene, But yeah, I don't.
Are there other shows for bullies?
It'd be really funny if there were,
Well, it would, yeah. I like the idea of a show for bullies made in the 80s, so it also has a public service announcement at the end where they're like, well, if you want to stump some wimps like me, here's what you do.
Knowing is half the battle.
Give me the other half, too. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually would be really funny if there was a show that like taught you how to be a bully. I mean, it's actually not that hard, Man. Well, anyway, animal crackers. We have now successfully talked for an hour about animal crackers. So
We did it.
we did
We
it.
did it. That's we talked for longer than the total length of the episodes we watched, which is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, look, like the Animal Cracker show, we have filled time. So I guess that's a win. What what else can we say about Animal Crackers?
What do you think about the actual character designs?
I
And I think we talked about Jodo's, but nobody else's.
I I don't care for them.
Yeah,
They're just again, they're just very very greeting card. You know, it's
yeah.
hard to describe exactly why, but like there is something about them. They are so stylized and so cartoony. That you know, and usually I don't really have an objection to that, but like there's just something. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it other than saying it is so greeting card. You know. Um,
It feels. I keep thinking of Scott McCloud talking about how even the most simplified cartoon has a useless line here and there,
mm,
which he described as, he drew a basic version of Charlie Brown and then moved it slightly further away from basicness and you see how his nose becomes sideways and right in between his eyeballs.
mm.
So, and I feel like these character designs could have used more sort of useless touches like that. One thing I noticed was that Eugene is actually very cute when you can't see his face, and he's just got the hanging trunk.
Oh, that's funny. Well, maybe they should have leaned into that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing.
Though what I really don't like is when cartoons do the thing where an elephant has his mouth on the end of his trunk.
Oh,
That is so weird.
yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Um,
Like the anteater. Like the anteater talks like this.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the anteaters actually do have their mouths at the end of the thing, so I guess that makes more sense. But
Yes.
um,
That makes sense, but I mean, elephants aren't anteaters.
no, they're not.
An elephant isn't an anteater. I know that. You know that.
No, no. Elephants, they have their noses at the end of the trunk. Though I've seen a lot of people who design anteaters so they have the mouth under the snout. And
Oh, again with the Lucario syndrome.
yeah, in fact, I believe BC did that, where they would give the anteater, put the mouth under the snout, but the tongue still coming out of the snout. So it's like, what the fuck?
That's really gross.
Yeah, it's like he's just shooting his tongue out his nose. What are you doing, Johnny Hart?
Ew.
Look at a picture once in a while. He's like, that's intelligent design for you. Maybe you should have spent less time listening to your cable guy and more time
Yeah.
doing, I don't know, doing something else. I don't know.
You should do more cartooning and less whining.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good line. There's no senator less whining though. All right. I guess anything is that it, or should we close out Animal Crackers?
Well, I think I laughed at the line where somebody, who was it? Oh yeah, it was a gorilla who was delivering mail and got hit on the head, and he's lying unconscious, and somebody says, "I think he swallowed his tongue," and they look at Dodo saying, "Well, you're the doctor," and he just sort of shrugs, like, "Ah, whatever, let him die."
It's like fuck him.
People don't really swallow their tongues. I don't know if that's true for gorillas.
I mean, I would assume not, but why not? That was when. Oh yeah, that's right. We actually got to see Dodo not just trying to cure Eugene of his mouse phobia. We also got to see Dodo receive his mail order degree in hypnotherapy. So we had to have that little bit in there too. Dodo can't just be doing a thing; he's got to be licensed. So why not?
Yeah. Well, it would have been okay. You know what would be funny would be if he'd been like, oh, what? How am I supposed to help him? And then he like opens a comic book and there's like the insult that made a hypnotist out of Dale or something like that.
Yeah, well, that would be better because also it would establish some sort of like, I don't know, like I feel like the way it's done, it's just like Dodo is like, I'm gonna solve Eugene's mouse phobia, and it's like, it doesn't feel like
By
you're doing
getting mail.
yeah, it doesn't feel like you're like doing this out of like friendship or anything. It just seems like you're doing it because we need a plot for this episode. Like that's the problem with a lot of this stuff. Anyway, Animal Crackers.
I have to wonder how many of these episodes are actually like multiple episodes where they just took all the good jokes and crammed them into one. It's like, oh, these are the good jokes. Oh boy.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like there's a lot. So I think I speak for everyone when I say animal crackers, more like animal crapers.
Well, I sort of like the idea of graham crackers. If we made it like about if we set it on a like a camp where people go to learn not to masturbate.
I don't think they let us get away with that one, which is too bad because
Yeah, it's a comic strip version of A Cure for Wellness.
yeah. They don't have camps like that anymore, do they? They don't have
Yeah.
they don't have no fap camps.
Wait, they. You know what?
What?
We should start one.
Yeah.
Man.
Oops, I failed. It's like that it's like in Flapjack. We're gonna play a bathroom game. You won. All right. Thanks for joining us, Animal Crackers.
Yes. Oh boy. Are you excited to join us on another streak of stuff actually based on comic strips? I hope they get better than this.
They can't get worse. All right, I'm just gonna cut right there.
Dun dun dun.